A very good morning to all of you. I once again welcome you all to this online video lecture. So from last some video lectures we are discussing an important chapter from a syllabus that is called as the chemical kinetics. In the last video lecture we stopped at one point. That point is called as the different characteristics for this third order reaction. So we already discussed that important characteristics with the important examples of that particular third order reaction. Now, if a syllabus of this chemical kinetics is concerned, the next important point from the syllabus which we are going to take in a today's video lecture is called as methods to determine the order of a chemical reaction. If a particular chemical reaction is there, how to determine the order of that particular chemical reaction, that we have to discuss in a current video lecture. So what are the different methods, suitable methods for determining the order of a chemical reaction? So for this purpose we have to take into consideration the different methods for determining that particular order of a chemical reaction. So in your syllabus, the 4 different methods are involved. Among these 4 methods, today we are going to take the 2 important methods among that. The first important method among that 4 methods is called as the graphical method. So this first method we have to discuss now. Now, what involves or what consideration we have to take according to this graphical method and what are the advantages of that method? Before looking that, we studied one important characteristics for this third order reaction in the last video lecture. So in the same way we have to study this method for evaluating the order of a chemical reaction. So first of all, in order to consider this order, we have to derive an expression for a different order of a chemical reaction. That expressions are called as the integrated rate equation expression. So that expressions we have to take into consideration. That expression first of all we have to convert into a straight line equation. That is, we have to consider the equations for straight line. Suppose a zero order reaction is there. For example, a first order, suppose we consider here first order reaction. Suppose first order reaction is there for a particular chemical reaction. Then if we want to write down an equation for straight line for this first order reaction, then what is it? So it becomes ln a minus x, ln a minus x, it is equal to minus k1 into t, it is equal to minus k1 into t, and next you have to take here plus ln a, plus you have to take here plus ln a. So we can say that this is the equation for straight line for the integrated rate equation for first order reaction. So we have to, in this way we have to convert all the integrated rate equation for first order, second order and third order reaction. After converting this type of equation of a straight line by using that particular straight line equation for a different order of a chemical reaction, then we have to plot a suitable graph. For example, this is now the straight line equation for integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Now this equation is in the form of a straight line, that is a y equal to mx plus c, y equal to mx plus c. Now this form we have to take into consideration for plotting a given graph. Now if I consider this particular integrated rate equation method, now if we plot a graph of, now if we plot a graph of this ln a minus x, if we plot a graph of this ln a minus x versus a time small t, if we plot such a type of graph, then what happens? If a straight line nature is obtained, if a straight line nature is obtained, then you will get the suitable values of a slope as well as intercept. Now in this case, if we plot this particular graph, what happens? A straight line nature is obtained along with the slope and intercepts value. Now what is the slope? The slope value obtained is equal to minus k1 and the value for this intercepts is equal to ln a. So these two values we can obtain by plotting this suitable graph. Now what happens, what conclusion we get from this particular graphical representation? So we can say that if we plot a graph of ln a minus x versus time t, and if we get a straight line nature with slope equal to minus k1 and intercept equal to ln a, then that particular chemical reaction has the order equal to first, or that chemical reaction has the first order. So this type of information we get from this first graphical representation. Now if we look toward the second graphical representation now, then what happens? Again we have to convert the integrated rate equation for second order in a similar manner. Then suppose if we plot a graph of 1 upon a minus x, if we plot a graph of 1 upon a minus x versus again time small t, then if we obtain a straight line graph, if we obtain a straight line, then the slope obtained is equal to k2 and intercept equal to 1 upon a, then we can say that such a type of chemical reaction has a second order, and that particular chemical reaction has the second order. So this is a second graphical representation. Third, if I take the third graphical representation, then what is there? Again, if we plot a graph of ln a minus x upon b minus x versus time small t, again if we get a straight line with slope equal to k2 into a minus b and intercept equal to minus ln b divided by a, then we can say that again this chemical reaction has the order equal to 2. So we can say that this second graph and this third graph is for second order reaction. But there is one small difference is there in between this second number graph and this third number graph. So what happens? Similarly is that this is also for second order reaction, this is also for second order reaction. But the important difference is that if such a type of graphical representation is there, then we can say that this chemical reaction is second order reaction with equal initial concentration, with equal initial concentration of reactants. On the another way, if such a type of graphical representation is there along with the slope and intercepts value, this chemical reaction is again a second order reaction with unequal initial concentration, and that's how we take here A and B. A for concentration of one reactant and B is a concentration for another reactant. So this is a case for second order reaction with unequal initial concentration. So this is a graph number third. And the last graphical representation is there. If we plot a graph of 1 upon a minus x square versus time t, again if we get a straight line with a slope equal to twice k3 and intercept equal to 1 upon a square, then we can say that that particular chemical reaction has the order equal to 3. So that is a third order chemical reaction. So we can say that these are the different graphical representation for a three different order of a chemical reaction. One is a first order, second is a second order, and third is a third order chemical reaction. For second order reaction, these two type of the different cases is there. One is with second order with equal initial concentration and second order with unequal initial concentration. So this is the first important method for this determination of order of a chemical reaction for a particular chemical reaction. Now this method has one important applications. What is that application? Now if we look towards each and every graphical representation, two different values can be obtained from a single graph. Two different values can be obtained from a single graph for a particular chemical reaction. Now what is that? First thing is that this is an important method for determining the order of a chemical reaction. This is the first important application of this particular method. The second application is that from a same graphical representation, you may calculate the order, you may calculate the rate constant for a particular chemical reaction, that is a K1 in this case. So you may calculate the rate constant for a particular chemical reaction, this K1 for rate constant for the first order reaction, this K2 rate constant for the second order reaction, again this is K2 for rate constant for second order reaction, and this is a K3, that is the rate constant for the third order reaction. So this important method gives two different parameters of a chemical reaction. First is that it can give the overall order of a chemical reaction, and second thing is that it gives the exact value for rate constant for the particular chemical reaction. So this is the first important method, that is a graphical method. Now after completing this graphical method, the second important method for evaluating or for determining the order of a chemical reaction, then that important method is called as the integrated rate equation method. It is a integrated rate equation method for determination of a order of a chemical reaction. Now, if we look towards the title of this particular method, it is an integrated rate equation method. So what you have to do here, we have to take into consideration a equation that is a integrated rate equation for each and every order of a chemical reaction. For first order, for second order, and for third order, we have to take into consideration this integrated rate equation. Now, after considering the integrated rate equation for a particular order of a chemical reaction, then we have to comment on a particular order of a chemical reaction. Before that, what type of the consideration is there in this integrated rate equation method? So for this purpose, we can say that this is a trial and basis method. This is a trial and basis method means what? We have to take into consideration a particular chemical reaction. We have to take into consideration a particular chemical reaction. So for this chemical reaction, we have to consider the concentration of reactant as well as concentration of a product at a different time interval experimentally. We have to take into consideration concentration of reactant, concentration of product at a different time intervals experimentally. After considering these different concentration of either reactant or product at a particular time, you will get a different readings. You will get the different readings of concentration at a different time interval. After obtaining such a type of different readings of concentration at different time interval, what you have to do? You have to calculate the rate constant. You have to calculate the rate constant for particular concentration at a different time interval. For example, I consider here the first important integrated rate equation for first order, that is a K1 is equal to 1 upon T ln A upon A minus X. A upon A minus X. Suppose this is a first order integrated rate equation, that is a rate constant K1 equal to 1 upon T ln A upon A minus X. Suppose this is an integrated rate equation for first order reaction. Now what you have to do? You have to carry out some experiment. We have to carry out or we have to observe some chemical reaction experimentally. Then what you have to observe there? You have to observe or you have to note down the two different parameters. Suppose first parameter is that you have to take into consideration the concentration, this A as well as this A minus X, means you have to take into consideration concentration of reactant as well as concentration of that particular product at the different time interval experimentally. Suppose if I take into consideration different times, suppose 5 minutes is there, 10 minutes, 15 minutes and 20 minutes. Suppose if I consider this different time interval 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes and 20 minutes. So at this particular time interval, you have to take into consideration these concentration of reactant and products. After considering or after noting these particular concentrations, you have to substitute that particular concentration of a reactant and product in a particular rate equation of this first order. After substituting this concentration in a particular integrated rate equation, you will get some values. You will get some values. At 5 minutes, you will get a rate constant value K1. Again at K2, suppose this is a K3 and this is a K4. Now what is my this K1, K2, K3 and K4? Or again we can say that we simply consider here K1 only. K1, this K1 and this K1. So these four different values of K1 can be obtained by substituting the different values of concentration of reactant and product at a different time intervals. So after calculating these particular four different values of rate constant, then we have to look towards whether these four different values of rate constant are similar or not. If they are similar to each other, or if they are equivalent to each other, then we can say that that particular chemical reaction has the order equal to first, or that chemical reaction is the first order chemical reaction. So we can say that after calculating a rate constant at a different time intervals by substituting the experimental values of concentration of reactant and product, if a similar values of rate constant are obtained, then we can say that that is that particular order of a chemical reaction. So this is the first consideration, for example. Now suppose these different four values of rate constant are different among each other. If they are different, then what you have to do? You have to take into consideration second integrated rate equation for second order. Again, we have to carry out same experiment. We have to note down concentration of reactant and product at different time interval. Again, you have to calculate the rate constant. Again, you have to observe whether that rate constant values are similar or not. If they are similar, we can say that that is a second order of a chemical reaction. Suppose again that values are not equivalent to each other or not similar to each other, again you have to take into consideration the next integrated rate equation, and that is called as the third order integrated rate equation. Again you have to carry out the same process. So you can say that this is a trial and basis method called as the integrated rate equation method. And this method studied experimentally, we have to take into consideration changes in concentration of reactant and product at a different time intervals. So this is a second important method for determining order of a chemical reaction indirectly on a trial and basis method by taking into consideration integrated rate equation for different orders of chemical reaction. So today we completed here two important methods for determining the order of a chemical reaction. These two different methods are there. First is the graphical method and second is called as the integrated rate equation method. In these two methods we have to take into consideration two different forms of a equation. In the first graphical method we have to take into consideration the integrated rate equation in the form of equation of straight line. We have to take that particular equation in a straight line. By considering that equation, you have to plot this type of the four different graphs. By obtaining such a type of different graphical representation, you may conclude the order of a particular chemical reaction. And the second method which we just completed, it's called as the integrated rate equation method. In this method, you have to take into consideration the exact integrated rate equation for first order, second order and third order. So today we completed these two important methods of this determination of order of a chemical reaction. The remaining two methods we will study in a next video lecture. So with this, today I conclude here. Thank you.